There is valuable hidden protection on credit, debit, and charge cards. It's called chargeback. If you don't receive the goods or services you paid for and the retailer is refusing to refund you, you may still be able to get your money back. So knowing when you can use chargeback is vital. And in this video, I'm going to let you know all the ins and outs about chargeback, and I'm also going to include for you a free template letter. So what is chargeback and when can you use it? If you don't get something you paid for by credit, debit or charge card and the firm is refusing to refund you, you can ask your bank to reverse the transaction and get your money back via chargeback. It is a part of Visa, MasterCard and American Express's own rules, and your bank basically asks for money back from the supplier's bank. Because it gets the money from the supplier's bank and not the supplier itself, the money should come back even if the retailer has gone bust, though this is not guaranteed. Chargeback works on the following cards. For debit cards, it works for Visa Debit, Maestro, Visa Electron, and MasterCard Debit. It works for both Visa and MasterCard prepaid cards, and for credit cards, it works specifically for transactions under £100 only for Visa, MasterCard, and American Express. If your transaction is over £100, you can use Section 75 protection instead. My video focusing on Section 75 protection can be found in a multitude of ways. It's in the top right hand corner in the pop out. I'll leave it in the description box below for you, and you will also be able to click on it at the end of this video. So when can you use chargeback? The main requirement for getting your money back through chargeback is evidence that there's been a breach of contract. For example, you didn't get what you paid for, and the firm will not give you a refund. Please be advised that before you can use chargeback, you must first try to get a refund from the firm first. Here are the following circumstances where you could ask your provider to give you a refund via chargeback. If the company that you purchased from has gone into administration, if the quality of an item is in question, for example the goods were not as described or were defective, for non-delivery, meaning the goods you've paid for were not received as promised and the company refuses to refund you. If there's a technical issue, for example an expired authorization or a processing error by the bank. If there's a clerical error, such as being charged multiple times or being billed for the incorrect amount, where you have been the victim of fraud and did not authorize the purchase. However, you won't normally be covered in the following circumstances. For problems that emerge a long time after you've got the items, to use chargeback, it must be within 120 days of your purchase or payment for the service. Visa and MasterCard have confirmed that in the case of future dated items, such as airline tickets or sport matches, the 120-day time limit begins once you are due to receive the goods or service. When buying via PayPal. However, there is a way around this, which I'll explain a little bit later in this video. And when you only pay the deposit on the card. Section 75 protection pays out the full cost even if you just put a 1 pence deposit on your card and pay the rest in cash. This is not the case with chargeback, where you'd only get back the amount you originally put on the card. And how much can you claim for? Now it doesn't matter how much or how little you spend on a card or what you spend it on. If you run into a dispute that chargeback can help with, the sum will be covered. Please note that there is a £10 minimum spend if you bought goods with a card from MasterCard, but no such terms exist with Visa or American Express. So what form of resolution should you use, chargeback or Section 75? Chargeback is one of two extra avenues you can use if you think you're entitled to a refund and you paid by card, with the other being Section 75. There are two key differences between them. Section 75 is a legal right for credit card purchases, however, chargeback isn't. Section 75 makes the credit card provider jointly liable with the retailer if something goes wrong. But unlike Section 75, chargeback is not a law, but is part of a set of scheme rules which participating banks sign up to. So while it is a really useful avenue for seeking a refund, Section 75 is far stronger when it comes to credit card purchases since it's enshrined in law. Furthermore, chargeback is for debit and credit cards and can be used on any amount. Section 75 only applies to credit cards and for certain amounts. Chargeback is particularly useful where the cost of the goods or services is £100 and under, as Section 75 doesn't apply. Therefore, if you've paid for something on your debit card or for something on your credit card that's £100 or under, you've no choice but to seek a refund via chargeback. But it is worth noting that where you have paid on a credit card for goods or services over £100, you can seek a refund via either route. So how do you make a claim? If you run into a dead end with the firm you purchased from, such as a refusal to refund a double payment, or you can't get a reply, then you can start the chargeback process. But do remember, you can only start a chargeback claim when you've exhausted all other avenues with the retailer. The chargeback process is simple. All you have to do is contact your debit or credit card provider and tell them that you want to make a claim through the chargeback scheme. Then you should give full details of the transaction you want refunded, and if they ask for it, provide them with copies of any correspondence you had when you tried to get your money back from the seller. This could include letters, emails, or records of phone calls. With some banks asking you to fill out a claim form, others may just take details of the transaction and start the claim for you. But you could be asked to put your request in writing. Luckily, I've created a chargeback refund template letter for you for absolutely free. You'll find it in the description box below. In return, all I ask for is that you give this video a like. Remember, you typically have up to 120 days to get your claim in. These rules are set by Visa, MasterCard and American Express and only usually give you 120 days to get a claim in, with the clock usually starting to tick from the date of the payment. Here are some examples. Broken goods. You buy a bicycle and take it for a first spin 2 weeks later only to discover its brakes are faulty and the retailer won't help sort it. The deadline in this instance starts from the date you bought it. Failed delivery. A delivery date for your ordered goods isn't met, the item never arrives, and your complaint calls to the firm go unanswered. The deadline starts with the date of the original missed delivery. A collapsed company. You book a flight or trip with a firm that then goes into administration before you take it. The deadline in this scenario starts from the date the flight was due to take off. Now, how long does it take to get a refund? Well, unfortunately, there's no specific time frame when it comes to getting your money back. Once you've applied for chargeback, it's up to your card provider to contact the supplier's bank to process the refund, which could take time. It's worth noting that some bank staff may not even know about this procedure, so you may need to explain it to them or show them this video. If the whole process takes longer than 8 weeks, take your case to the Financial Ombudsman. Even though the claim itself should be completed in 8 weeks, it may take longer to receive the money in your account. What should you do if your claim is rejected? If you're dissatisfied with how long your bank is taking to deal with your claim, or you're unhappy with the outcome, you can raise a complaint with your provider. It then has 8 weeks to handle your complaint. If your claim is rejected altogether, you should ask for a letter of deadlock from your provider. This is essentially a final response, which you can then take to the Financial Ombudsman to make a complaint. This is completely free and well worth doing, and there's even a simple claim form on the Financial Ombudsman's website. I'll leave a direct link for that in the description box below for you as well. And finally, so how do you get chargeback protection when using PayPal? Well, in most instances, PayPal is considered a third party. If you've topped up your PayPal account with your debit card and subsequently used that credit to pay for a product or service that wasn't provided, you won't be covered by chargeback protection. Yet, by emptying your PayPal account and using it to make a purchase with your registered debit card, your card will clearly show the exact amount for the purchase. The money will essentially come out of your account straight into the seller's account. Essentially, the easier it is for your provider to match the amount debited from your account with the purchase, even when using PayPal, the more likely it is you'll receive chargeback. Please do remember that chargeback is not a legal requirement and is not guaranteed. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you did, please do give it a like. Remember that all the pertinent information from this video has been left for you in the description box below. That includes my video about Section 75 protection, the Financial Ombudsman's website, and my bespoke chargeback refund template letter if required. Please do consider subscribing if you haven't done so already. Why not share this video with someone else you think may benefit from it? And if you have any questions or comments, please leave them for me below and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.